Hey guys, this is Bret here. In front of me is a one of the kit Electrolyte ARFs from HobbyKing. I purchased this myself. I didn't tell HobbyKing about it because I wanted to check it for quality compared to the prototype. So here it is. So I'm just quickly going to go through it. I just took it out of the wrapper just because I didn't have enough hands, but here it is. I just pulled it out. So looking at the fuselage, I'm kind of a composites guy, so pay a lot of attention to it. Looks pretty good. One of the things I always like to look for are the leading edges of the intake, because that's kind of a challenge area. And on this one, looks pretty good. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but they did a pretty good job blending it. Taking the hatch off. Just looking for the quality of the fiberglass. It doesn't look like there's much excess resin here. You can see how they joined the ducting to the actual fuselage with that plywood piece. It really reinforces it. And the fiberglass tape goes as far forward as I can see there. So that looks pretty good. Here's the hatch. You can see it's also fiberglass. Looking from the inside here, one of the earlier prototypes had issues with pinholes in the ducting. Doesn't appear to be the case here. And fiberglass tape looks like it's down, looks really good. So I'm going to quickly move on to the rest of the kit. So here we go. So that's that. Here's the vertical stab and the motor hatch. These have always turned out pretty good here. I'm not going to spend much time on that. Here's the flying stab. It's got the brass spar. Just looking at leading and trailing edges here. You know, they definitely rounded the leading edge, tapered the trailing edge, and looks pretty good. Very happy with that. And it doesn't appear there's no wrinkles in it or anything like that. It's all pretty flawless for whoever covered it. Last but not least is the wing. So again, I did just take this out of the wrapper here just so that I could get my hands on it. Some people have been talking about, you know, the airfoil here. There is an airfoil. Not only is there an airfoil, there's actually 1.5 degrees of washout in it. So there's a plywood tip template, and it's got a tab at the trailing edge. So when they glue that on there, it automatically sets in the washout. You can see the rounded leading edge there. Trailing edge has definitely been tapered down. It's, you know, reasonably sharp. And as far as the covering goes, I don't see any wrinkles. Let's look at the bottom here. There. Looks pretty good. Now, right there in the center section, right there, you can just see where the servo placement is. And then if you kind of look at that in the light when you get the kit, you can also see where the holes are for the mounting. That's how I go and find it. But that's basically the kit. There's the bungee. Here's the Mylar. When you guys get it, this Mylar is a little thick for me. You can always go to FedEx, Kinko's, and just get the overhead projector Mylar, which is thinner. You could use that. I'm sure that would work. Here's the motor, fan unit. Looks pretty good, straightforward. One last thing I wanted to touch on is the accessories. HobbyKing did an excellent job with it. Is there room for improvement? Yes. There's the 64th flying stab horn there. There's actually 2 of them because it's supposed to be 1/32 ply, so you glue that together with CA. And in here you'll find a couple easy clevises. Dubro makes some also, the Easy Link. They make them in different colors now. They cost $1.69. My opinion is the Dubro products are higher tolerances for the .032 wire, which is used here, and you can see them right there by my finger, and HobbyKing has them pre-bent and they fit perfectly. but I like these Clevises by Dubro a little bit better. And then they also make one for 0.047 push rods, and that's what's actually used for the elevator. While the supplied products work, if you can find these work great also. And that's basically the kit. If you have any questions, let me know, and enjoy.